Hello, everyone, and welcome to 100's Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your host, Logan Landers, and today we have the Los Angeles Chargers 2022 draft needs. So be sure if you enjoy this video or this episode of the podcast to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We go live each and every single day on Facebook and YouTube. We have clips of all of our shows on Instagram at 100's Football and our podcast available every single day for you to download and to listen to thanks to the Believe Podcast Network. Available to listen to, like I said, on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iTunes, iHeartRadio, any podcast streaming platform you can think of, or I can think of, you can download and listen to. Over 800 episodes available right now, and more coming every single day, and over 1,000 plus videos on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. So go over there, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you have an idea for a future video, future episode, please drop it in the comments. We look at all of our comments, we interact with all of our fans, and we love to hear what you have to say and what ideas you might have for some future topics. So let's get into it. The LA Chargers, what do they need? Man, like I said, that whole AFC West has been absolutely nuts this year, man. They have went crazy. Been a lot of moves, a lot of players coming on over, and it's probably going to be one of the best divisions in football, bar none. So let's look at the Chargers. What they did last year, they went 9-8. Like I said, pretty decent. They missed the playoffs, lost to the Raiders, and they are looking to come back with a vengeance this upcoming season. Before we go into what they need for the draft, let's look at who all they've re-signed, who all they've gotten in trades, and who all has yet to been signed as of the current moment. So let's go with the current free agents, gentlemen who are still waiting for the next deal, that next call for the 2022 NFL season. First, Brian Beluga, Chris Harris Jr., Linval Joseph, all three are still waiting. Jared Cook, O'Day, and Ryan Smith also waiting. We have Matt Overton, Michael Schofield, Sine Clemente, Andre Roberts, Devontae Harris, Trey Marshall, Ty Long, and Justin Jackson, all waiting to get that next deal, hopefully from the Chargers or from a different squad. Best of luck to all of those young men. Let's go on to the re-signings. Who is coming back from last year's squad and going to continue this year? We have Joe Reed, Andrew Brown, Jalen Guyton. We also have Donald Parham, Storm Norton, great name there. We also have guys like Christian Covington. We have Dustin Hopkins, Chase Daniel, Mike Williams to round things out. Now let's go on to who they've acquired, who is coming over either in trades or free agency. We have Khalil Mack coming from the Bears. Gerald Everett, the tight end from the Seahawks, coming on over. Cornerback J.C. Jackson and defensive lineman Austin Johnson, both coming over. Josh Harris, the longtime long snapper for the Atlanta Falcons, coming on over. DeAndre Carter from the Washington Commanders. Punter J.K. Scott and Sebastian Joseph Day, the interior defensive lineman. All of them are coming on over. Now who they've lost, who is going to a different squad this year. Squad Quisenberry, Isang Basie, Kaiser White, Justin Jones, Steven Anderson. And we also have guys like Uchenna Nwosu, Kyler Fackrell. And finally, is that it? Yep, that is it. All right, so decent amount of people there. Like I mentioned, they've gained some, they've lost some, but it's been a wild offseason, man. And we will see what happens, where all these guys go for, how they do this year. But let's look at the draft. Let's turn our attention to what we're here to really dive deep into, and that is the 2022 NFL Draft. The Chargers have a litany of picks this year. They currently have 10 draft picks at the moment. So let's look at those picks. They have pick 17 overall in the first round. In the third round, pick 79. In the fourth round, pick 123. Fifth round, pick 160. Sixth round, pick 195 and 214. And in the seventh, picks 236, 254, 255, and 260. So they have a lot of room to work with here, a lot of guys they can sign. Let's look at some of their biggest needs. And I think the biggest need that the Chargers currently need is some help on the offensive line at the right side position, specifically right guard and right tackle. At 17, that's a perfect slot for them to pick someone up, protect Justin Herbert at all costs. Like I mentioned, you got Storm Norton, but I feel that you can definitely look to the future, get someone younger, get someone with a little bit more hunger potentially. You can get someone like maybe a Rashawn. They got Rashawn Slater last year. You maybe get like a Charles Cross if he falls, a Trevor Penning. I mean, there's a lot of options you can look at here if you are the LA Chargers rocking those bolts on the head there on the helmet. I definitely think the first pick they should use in that first round selection, number 17, needs to help out that offensive line at right guard or right tackle, whatever they choose. The next area they need to fill, I think, is also help out the cornerback. Yes, I know they got J.C. Jackson, but you need some help on the other side as well. And if someone gets hurt, their depth is not the strongest. You need someone as a solid backup. You can use maybe the third round, the fourth round pick to get you another cornerback to pair with Jackson, or at like I mentioned, at a depth position so you can help out there. So look for a right tackle, right guard first, then go get some depth for your cornerback position. Up next, they need to look at the interior defensive line. Like I said, they've made some good work already, but once again, look for some depth at that position. Look for some guys that you can add later on in the draft, those fourth round, fifth round picks, whatever, and you can get some work there. You're going to need a lot of defense for this upcoming season, man, especially with how stacked that division is. So go and help out your D line with stuffing the runs and getting to the quarterbacks. Next, I think they need to look for another running back. Look for a backup. Austin Eckler, we all know what he did, man. And I feel that if depth is also another thing they need to look for at that position, not the strongest there, but you can really get a real. I mean, that's the thing with running backs nowadays, is that with it being such a pass heavy league, running backs are dropping like flies. They're falling late in rounds, and you can find them at really any position or any round, and they can put in some work for your team. To look for a backup running back. And finally, I think the fifth core group thing to look at there is a wide receiver. Now, I know that they have some really good wide receivers already, but you can always find some late round gems, guys, in that seventh round, guys, in that sixth round. Some guys who you might not need this year, you can maybe have out there for a couple of plays, but more likely some people who you're looking for that can help out in the near future. So I would go, help out your defense, help out your offensive line, go back to defense, maybe another backup running back, some receivers. I think the Chargers are going to be looking good this year. I think that last year they did pretty decent. Like I said, I feel like they can improve overall. And I like this team, man. Like I said, they've gotten Khalil Mack. That's definitely going to help out the edge rushing. They've got Gerald Everett. That's going to help out their passing and their blocking. So they've gotten some guys who are really going to help out. Their defense is looking stronger. I think the Chargers are going to have a better season this year, and it's going to be fun to watch how that West unfolds out there. It's going to be a good time, though. So, like I said, be sure if you enjoy this video or subscribe to the podcast, like, comment, share, subscribe. We go live each and every single day on Facebook and YouTube. Flip for our shows at 100 Football on Instagram, and our podcast anywhere and everywhere every single day, over 800 plus episodes, thanks to the Believe Podcast Network. Checks out any major podcast streaming platform or anywhere, really, and you can find a ton of high-quality, top-tier football content. Like I said, I've been your host today, Logan Landers, talking about the Los Angeles Chargers 2022 draft needs. Have a tremendous day, everyone, and we will talk to you again on another live episode right here on 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio.